around here, them guns get the last word.
Harada was having a random discussion about Red Dead Redemption 2 and waiting for GTA 6 like all of us. And a random Tekken fan shows up and says, what did Nina and Anna's mother do? Or think about their rivalry. Did she encourage the fights like their fathers, or did she try to smooth things over? Did she have Anna as a favorite, just like the father had Nina? Do you think these two will get along someday? Now, Harada goes very into detail and answers pretty much all of these questions, and in this video I just want to go through this long tweet from Harada and just give my ideas of it. Subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video if you enjoy. Harada says, yes, well, we have told you very little about Nina's and Anna's mother. The sisters learned the assassination techniques from their father, but from their mother they learned self-defense. That's the only episode we have told you guys. To quickly pause and just throw out a little frustration, I believe there's a lot of stuff that we haven't learned about many of these characters, and for Nina in particular, she's one of the 3 characters to be in every single Tekken game ever: Paul, Nina, and Yoshi. Out of those 3, Yoshimitsu has the most development, but that's largely because of the Soul Calibur series did a lot of work in fleshing out the Manji clan, how Yoshimitsu works, his sword works. Tekken really didn't do anything to uplift these characters, and so many years down the road, 30 years later, we're still asking very basic questions about these characters. And it's cool that we get these answers from Harada, but I wish we could get more. He continues, their father was a ruthless assassin, but he was very loving to the sisters. So he's kind of debunking the idea that the father only loved Nina. He did in fact like both of them. He says, the mother was loving to Nina and Anna, and her daughters loved their mother. I think the mother knew that her daughters would one day be in danger because of their father's work, so she wanted to teach them how to protect themselves as much as possible. If the mother could see the sisters in their current situation, I think she would grieve. At the start, it was kind of like a petty little rivalry, but as the series progressed, they went from just having a petty rivalry to trying to kill each other. Skipping forward to Tekken 7, Nina, in her spare time of doing Mishima Zaibatsu stuff, she took up an assassination request, and the target was Anna's husband. For those of you who don't know, Anna, between Tekken 6 and 7, she basically was retiring from the life of like war. She was done with it. She didn't want to hang out with Kazuya no more. She didn't want to be with Nina no more, fighting and whatnot. She found a random G Corporation soldier and was going to retire, get married, and retired. At her wedding day, Nina showed up and executed the guy. She also stole Anna's wedding dress, put it on, and now that is the dress that she wears in Tekken 7 and also Tekken 8. We think of Anna as being the evil one, but in my opinion, Nina has surpassed her and has done so much more to she's crazy, bro. She's crazy. I love her, but she's crazy. So when Harada says that the mother will be shocked to see how far things had fallen, it makes sense. He says, by the way, there is a small group of people who believe that Anna is not loved by the development team. Well, it doesn't matter because no, it's not true at all. But the Anna portrayed in the story of Tekken is filled with a lot of thoughts and feelings from me and the animation staff. Now, this is something that Harada always talk about, and I did videos before, but basically people say, since she's not in the game, the developers must hate her. And I think that is a stupid conclusion to come to. You have to understand that they take many things into account. Popularity, statistics, stats, how big of the roster, how many males, how many females. There's a lot of things to consider. And with Anna and Nina's fighting style being so similar, their usage both being very low, it's hard to put both of them in there. And they always default to Nina because Nina's been in the base roster for every Tekken to ever exist. He says, originally, Nina was very popular with players since the beginning of Tekken. There is a yin and yang to things, and Anna's popularity often contrasted with Nina's. This is something that players don't really take into account as well, right? When you look at the statistics for Tekken 7, Nina and Anna are both side by side and very low. And when Harada says she was very popular at the start, I believe that's because she has very little to compete with. There was no Asuka, no Lily, no Reina, no Azuzina, no Alyssa. All of the popular female characters that exist today didn't exist in Tekken 1, 2. He says back in Tekken 1 and 2, many mid-boss characters were convertible characters to other characters, but we wanted to make Anna from Tekken 3 as unique as possible to gain popularity. The introduction of Anna, who did not appear in arcade arcade version into the home version of Tekken 3 was also a manifestation of that determination. I was the game director as well as Anna's game script engine. I built almost all of the AC version character scripts, but for console versions of Tekken 3, I mainly worked on Anna. I also invented all of the names of Anna's move list up to Tekken 5 DR. That's the thing, like when people say Harada hates these characters, this is why I said it's a stupid conclusion to come to, because back in like Tekken 1, 2, 3, Harada did a lot of stuff for each individual character. How can he hate a character who he himself decided the names for every single move on the list? I don't even know what an AC version character script is, but he did that for Anna. This section here where he's talking about game script engine, basically he says this is like the video game language that is the foundation for 3D fighting games. The examples that he gives is the animation data, sound data, effects data, a lot of stuff, right? And he says that he did this, he was the main person in charge of this all the way up until Tekken 6 BR. He says, so back to Anna. I wanted to introduce as many unique features to Anna that her sister didn't have. A typical example is Chaos Judgment, which is the first system in Tekken series to detect an opponent's low-level move with a certain distance and automatically counter it. Every time there was a game spinoff or a video spinoff, we would ask that Nina and Anna be released as sisters. Most of the time, Anna is beaten out by her older sister, but we still supervise the video so that it conveys Anna's charm. By the way, we think Anna in Blood Vengeance is quite attractively drawn. As I was reading this, I kind of got the feeling that he was talking about Tekken Blood Vengeance and also the Tekken motion picture. If you see the way those two characters are depicted, they play a very important role, and they do act as like this duo who plays off one another, a yin and yang as Harada described it. Their bond extends so far back, and it's cool to see that Harada throughout all of these years has maintained that vision for these characters. In Tekken 8, we don't know if Anna will show up, but if she does, we'll see a very different version of the character, because usually she's just being seductive and also like sarcastic, I would say. But with Nina doing what she did to Anna's husband, you would have to imagine Anna would be filled with vengeance and she would be out for blood. And seeing a Anna embody that would be so different from what she was in the past. And me personally, I think that would be pretty cool. He says, anyways, we tried our best to make Anna unique. But even so, the gap in popularity between Anna and Nina did not narrow down through the series. This is our responsibility, or rather lack of power / skill. So he's owning up to the fact that they couldn't make Anna more popular. Regardless of what they did, she wasn't more popular. He owns up to it. For this reason, Anna's setting in the game reflects the feelings of the people in charge of Anna and our development team. For example, Anna is tired of losing, not only the battle with Nina, but also the popularity ranking in Iron Fist tournament. She is such a deep character, and what Harada is saying here goes so many levels deep. Her not being able to beat her sister, one in a battle, but two like in stats, in statistics, and her desire for that is like, it's so cool. He says, well, there's also the idea that she shines because she dares to be positioned that way. Finally, I would like to mention a few lesser known episodes of Nina and Anna. So from this part here, Harada gives us 10 individual points, all related to Anna. Number 1 says, Anna has the best cooking skills of all Tekken characters. She is very well versed in recipes for all regional cuisines. This is one of the skills that Nina's parents and parents gave her after they saw Anna's characteristics. Number 2 says, her father properly thought about each of them, Nina and Anna. It gives many examples of basically how he trained them to be calm, ruthless, and just be overall prepared to protect themselves from many enemies. In number 3, he said that Nina was blood type A. After the experiments of Tekken 2, it's unknown. Anna, on the other hand, is blood type A and still remains blood type A, even though she went through the same process. Number 4 gives a little bit more information about Nina assassinating Anna's fiance. It says Nina assassinated a member of the mafia, including Anna's fiance. And information she gained in completing her job, she noticed a very dark side, evil side to Anna's fiance. Anna, on the other hand, was about to marry him without knowing about those things. So from Nina's point of view, she was not only merely completing the job request, but she also thinks to her sister, I would rather be thanked by Anna. That's a pretty interesting twist. It makes you wonder why she then took Anna's dress. We don't know what their interaction is after the fact, but you would have to imagine that she would want to explain this to Anna so Anna can understand where she's coming from and why she did it, what she found. And why was this guy on an assassination list? Number 5 and 6 basically talk about their weapons. Anna is more familiar with missiles and rockets and heavy weapons. Nina is not. In point 7, 8, and 9, Harada gives a little bit of information about her moveset and how it has changed and progressed throughout the games. And in number 10, Harada says, yes, because of you, my lunch was only cashews. One pet peeve of mine is that I do wish they would put this stuff into the game. We get a lot of information from Harada on Twitter, and most of the players will never discover this. They'll never see this tweet.